You know, one that changed my life was the secret, the law of attraction, the book on the law of attraction.
The law of attraction.
No, I believe in the law of attraction.
A demonstration that the law of attraction just works the way that it works. The secret is about the law of attraction. I discovered this book when I was probably about 19, and I was living in a little flat in Manchester. Life had got quite difficult, and he basically talks about the law of attraction and the power of the mind and picturing something and almost believing that you've got it before it's even happened.
The mind is but a magnet to what you want.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
And I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, you know, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real.
Everything comes from the imagination, so the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning, but I know one thing is I can make things happen. I can go into levels, I just can't tell the world, but like there's levels that like I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself, like how the fuck did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting, this is to do with my personal life. And I'm like, I made that happen. And this is through this like manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just like, shit, I really made that happen.
It would never happen if they hadn't followed their dream. I want you to follow yours. Understand this. If you can see it, you don't have to know how to get it. Your life will change.
I mean, you attract, not just what you feel, you attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract. What's on your mind, yes.
It's like
exactly.
the law of physics. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. It's just, ask any physicist, they'll tell you that it's true.
Albert Einstein said something pretty interesting. He said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. He said, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Match the frequency of the reality you want.
Outside of the Bible that I have ever read in my life, and the book is based on the law of attraction.
And there's no excuses, there's no fucking days off, there's no, not willing to grind and, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining and pussy-ass bullshit that a lot of people do these days. It's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want, they know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind. And I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief.
If you can get a mental image of the person you would most like to become, begin now to act as that person would act in everything you do. Gradually, imperceptibly, you will actually become that person. It goes back to what the great German poet and philosopher Goethe once said. Before you can do something, you must first be something. Before you can do what you would most like to do, you must first become the person who can do it. A woman cooking dinner has only to act like a great chef to turn out a better meal. The student who begins to act like a top student will begin to get better grades. You can even look much better by simply acting like the person you would most like to look like and be like. The secret is to get and hold fast in your mind the mental image of the person you would most like to be. Then in every situation you act and talk as you feel that person would. You make the kind of decisions you think that person would. This is the way to constantly grow into a better, more effective person.
It's not becoming a millionaire that's important. It's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire. Yeah. You have to become a completely different person. You have to develop character beyond 99% of the people in the world. You have to develop honesty and discipline and quality relationships and the willingness and the ability to work and set priorities and all kinds of stuff. Because without that, nothing is possible. So once you earn your first million, then you are the person who can earn a lot of money. And the second million it's never easy. Never easy, but it's easier.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. And I'm Kanye West at age 36. So just watch the next 10 years.
10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be. There's a very important question to ask, and the question is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is, where?
You imagine. My brother and I used to sit around and talk about what could be if only we managed to get it out. How it would feel to have this car. How it would feel to be in this place. How it would feel to be famous and internationally renowned. How it would feel to go to Saint-Tropez and live on a yacht. How it would feel to be able to fly on private planes. How it would feel to not have to worry about food anymore. My brother and I used to imagine for hours. We used to talk about it. We believed in this version of reality where we somehow made it.
You lived up to your promise to be the first person to knock out Max Holloway. Just how does it feel knowing, another prediction you forecasted came to life?
I call this because I knew it. It's a surprise for a lot of people, but for me, it's like I knew it. I said it and I did it.
No, I always dreamed as a kid that it was possible to score 80 or 90 or 100. I always just had a dream. Like sometimes you lay down in bed and you visualize things. You just kind of that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I'd imagine what the uniforms look like, and I'd imagine where we'd be playing, and the smell of the arena and all sorts of stuff. And I would see myself, getting hot, score 10 straight points, but in a dream, why would you ever interrupt that? You're not going to have a dream and be like, okay, and then he misses his next 6. It's not going to happen. So you just keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming, and before I go to sleep, I'm at 120 points, And so when you grow up, downloading that into your brain over and over and over, and then that summer, I made 1,000 shots a day, 1,000, right? That's on top of weight training and my conditioning. I made 1,000 shots, and they weren't just shots. It were shots that you saw in that game. There were specific shots. It was coming out of the corner, going to the pinch post, footwork in the post, coming off the screen. It was very specific. So when you download that into your system and you go out in the court and you're just executing things that you've done thousands of times before, and you have that dream, then that becomes possible.
I'm not worried about how I prepared. So I started visualizing at 13, 14, just so everything around me was taken care of when I got to a meet, so I could be completely relaxed. So when I put my headphones on, all I'm thinking about is the music. I get to go up and just do what I practiced to do. All of those countless hours of staring at the black line at the bottom of the pool, that was for this moment. So I just never really thought when I got behind the block and let everything do what was supposed to happen. If I didn't get the results that I wanted, then I would just go back to the drawing board. And that's really just how I worked my whole life. But visualizing just it just mentally prepares you, and you can kind of check that box off. And I think that's what we wanted to do. Every time we got to a major international competition, we wanted to check off as many boxes as we could.
It is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and And the more you believe in it, you know, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to, you know, see your beliefs come to pass. So, answer your question, just self-belief.